I got a very shocking update from the White House regarding this current impeachment against President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. And before we even get into it, do you guys think that he's at all at fault? I mean, we have to listen to both sides if you ask me. It can't just be one-sided talking, right? So why is the White House enabling news outlets to spin this entire story? So here's one where they're talking about the weakness of this impeachment.
And impeachment should be holy cow. We should have like some evidence of something truly shocking before we take the extraordinary step of beginning an impeachment inquiry, or else we just risk cheapening the whole impeachment process.
And Republicans, Jonathan, have failed to produce any evidence of wrongdoing. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman was asked about this inquiry in the halls of the U.S. Senate, and this was his response.
Oh my God, really? Oh my gosh, it's devastating. Ooh, don't do it. Please don't do it.
So setting aside the senator's sartorial choices, I mean, the fact that he made fun of it, he's dismissing it in a cartoonish way. Is that a mistake? Should Democrats take this seriously?
Yes, Democrats absolutely should take this seriously. And I get where the senator is coming from. To David's point, there's no evidence here yet. And if the Republicans were serious, the Oversight Committee under Chairman Comer would be doing a serious investigation instead of a fishing expedition that they're on so far, finding nothing.
Now, I'm not sure if this has anything to do with what the White House sent to news media outlets here in the country, but just to give you guys an idea, well, here you go. It says here, and again, this is from the Biden administration, that the media, the people that you guys watch every day, the ones that many Americans trust to bring them the news, to scrutinize this opening of an impeachment inquiry that the White House says are based on lies. Wow. They're proving this by using a couple of House Republicans who have been quoted to admitting that there's no evidence against the president. And you know what? I'm not on either side here. I'm on the American people's side, just to be clear. But yes, I haven't seen much evidence of what they've been trying to pin on President Biden. More of talk, really. Now, if you agree, make sure to smash the like button and hey, consider subscribing to the channel because we need more people who seek the truth, all right? Become a part of the family that actually speaks the truth. I appreciate you guys.
What are you suspecting is illegal here that he did? Are you suspecting that he voted for certain policies and pushed certain policies in exchange for money?
He told Ukraine, if you don't fire the prosecutor, you're not getting the money.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they accused President Trump of doing, which he didn't do, and they impeached him over that. He did it, and he did it. Right. Remember, December 4th, 2015, Devin Archer, Hunter Biden are meeting with the head of Burisma, Mr. Zolochevsky, and they called D.C. Now, Devin Archer says, I stepped away. I don't know who they talked to in D.C. Come on. They called D.C. and then 5 days later, the vice president of the United States, the current president of the United States, goes to Ukraine and starts the process into getting the prosecutor fired.
And he bragged about it on camera.
Bragged about it on camera, but leverages the money of the people I get the privilege of representing in the 4th District of Ohio to make that happen, which directly benefited his son. That's the heart of this issue, those 4 central facts.
So I talked to Shokin. He was the prosecutor that was fired.
I watched it.
And he said he was investigating Burisma. He did think that Hunter and Archer were up to no good. He did say that Joe Biden made Poroshenko fire him.
Wait a second. Did President Biden actually do that? That is the question, right?
And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired.
Oh yeah, I remember it now. But wait, that message from the White House has more for y'all. Check this out. So right here it says that media is advancing, right? And we've got liars every day. I mean, I can't refute that. That is actually true. You probably can say the same thing. It's funny though, because they say that the lies can come from everywhere and singles out Facebook and Fox. Well, we know that Fox can lean to one party, sure. But Facebook? Are they just mad because they can't communicate with Facebook and tell them what to do anymore?
Federal judge barred barred parts of the administration from contacting social media platforms about online content. Now, the ruling came in response to a lawsuit brought by Republican-led states alleging that the White House went too far in its efforts to curb content that challenged vaccines or threatened elections. The judge said certain departments should not reach out to companies like Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram for, quote, the purpose of urging, encouraging, pressuring, or inducing any manner the removal, the deletion, the suppression, or the reduction of content containing protected free speech. The ruling singles out several government agencies, including the Department of Justice, of State, the CDC, as well as HHS. NBC's Mike Memoli is by the White House right now on this holiday. So, Mike, the music's behind you with the president's barbecue. He has made combating disinformation a big part of his agenda. How much of a blow is this judge's orders to those efforts?
Well, at the heart of this case, Tom, is what happens when constitutionally protected rights like the right to free speech come into conflict with public health and safety. And in this case, based on the very long list of individuals and agencies that a judge is saying that the administration cannot be in contact with social media companies, it has to do with what happens when, especially as it relates to COVID-19, the White House, the administration feels that the public health and safety is potentially harmed by the spread of disinformation here.
The White House also states that these stories, these lies, are meant to generate confusion and obscure the truth. Here's my question, and of course, I'm just gonna ask you guys. You don't need to comment, just speak it in your mind. Who do you think is telling the truth here? Do you honestly believe that President Biden is innocent of exchanging policies for cash? I mean, I could ask the same thing about Trump. We could talk about both of them here because that's the point, right? We need to know the truth. They owe us the truth. Shouldn't we be given that much as citizens of this country? The very people that literally pay their wages. Which leads me to play this very timely clip from Senator Rand Paul where he just grills Mayorkas about disinformation and how the government seems to think that the American people are, well, stupid.
I think you've got no idea what disinformation is, and I don't think the government's capable of it. Do you know who the greatest propagator of disinformation in the history of the world is? The U.S. government. Are you familiar with McNamara, the Pentagon Papers? Are you familiar with George W. Bush and the weapons of mass destruction? Are you familiar with Iran-Contra? I mean, think of all the debates and disputes we've had over the last 50 years in our country. We work them out by debating them. We don't work them out by the government being the arbiter. I don't want you guardrails. I want you to have nothing to do with speech. You think we can't determine speech by traffickers is disinformation? You think the American people are so stupid they need you to tell them what the truth is? You can't even admit what the truth is with the Steele dossier. I don't trust government to figure out what the truth is. Government is largely disseminating disinformation.
What do you guys think? Do they really think we're that stupid and can't figure out the truth? Is this why the White House is banging on these news outlets to spin this impeachment story? You decide. Make sure you share your thoughts in the comment section down below. And before I go, guys, I just want to thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for dropping a like for the video. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.